Hello, and welcome to yet another session of the Small Start practice game. I've just updated the current players thing, so it's only got my avatar showing there. My last session had both me and Costello, even when it was just me. And we're getting some feedback. Do I have an open Twitch window somewhere? I must do. I do. Well, shush you. Super professional. Try not to have any Twitch windows open on my main computer while I'm broadcasting, but that one slipped through the net, as it sometimes does. So, let's get back to where we were before. This is going to be a fairly trying to keep to an hour long session here, possibly shorter, or possibly longer as the other ones have been. So, last session I declared on and started laying right into Bastar, the filthy Bastar that they are. That was fine. They called in Jarkand as expected, no problemo. And I always going swimmingly. I'd wiped out their army, then wiped out the Jarkandi army, then wiped out the remnants of the Bastari army. All was fine. And I said, be fine as long as they don't call Orissa in. And yeah, there they are. Orissa with their huge number of provinces, 2 vassals. But I have a feeling they will want out of this war fairly quickly, because they are being besieged by rebels. They have just finished a war or two, so their war exhaustion is likely to be high. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna basically, I will give them anything up to and including well, hang on a minute. Well, I was going to say I'd give them up to and including war reparations, but you know what? If they don't need that, yeah, I'll take that white piece without even questioning it, because quite frankly, they scare me. So, you guys come and attach to me, and we'll go places. In fact, we'll go all the places. We have quite a lot of manpower. So, fortunately, it's only Bastar at this point I think we need to deal with. Yeah, lonely Bastar. Enthusiastic, but enthusiasm will not... Yeah, did you see that? Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank God we got Orissa out. But enthusiasm alone will not carry them. So, and we've got Mawar in here. Sad news. Our royal marriage with Mawar has ended, and they got pretender rebels as well. It's probably going to mean they won't want to come and fight with me here. Wow, that's a reasonable general for a rebel stack. I mean, we can de-siege and re-siege without them. It would just be nice to have them help me out. Now, oh hi JPMC, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. What I was about to say is, if there's any technical issues with the stream, please do shout them out. Any buffering, anything like that. And I can now hear myself again. Stop that, you. Please do shout them out. I have had a report of some buffering issues because I am so very, very small in terms of my Twitch size. It's all coming from San Francisco, so not sure what I can do other than drop the bitrate down a huge amount. But yeah, if you give us a shout, I'll see it hopefully and sort it out if I can. We're fighting already. Should probably bump the speed down a little bit. I have been bitten by that before. Now, for anyone just tuning in or who haven't seen the last few streams and or YouTube videos, this is a practice session. As the title says, I am not, if things go horrendously wrong or if I make a stupid mistake, well, if I make a stupid mistake I might just continue, but if I want to test something out, like an ally getting called into a war mechanic, or something that's not obvious to me, I will save and reload if needs be. This is not an Iron Man run. This is about learning, not just for me, but hopefully for everyone else who's watching as well. That's fine, they're going to go and siege there, so you don't need to attach to me. You can in fact go home if you wish and deal with those rebels. Nice rolls, nice wipe. I had an event, look at this general, I had an event that gave me 100 tradition general for a fee, which I took because I was fighting a war at the time, and yeah, it seemed like a good idea. So we're making money, thanks to war reparations mostly, and what else? Taxation apparently. Okay. Works for me, and not having a huge army also helps. Now, Jharkhand, who were also in this war, were vassalized by me because it's useful to have a few vassals kicking around when you're small. I mean, since the changes to force limits, they're not as useful because they have a significant and substantial malus to force limit. Let's see, Gondwana, I think. Let's have a look at Gondwana. They should have a force limit of about 2 or 3, I think, or 4 possibly. That is country, that is not the military one that I was looking for. Gondwana, force limit of 4. Subject nation is +2. If you're an independent nation, you get +6, which is, so you're losing a force limit of about 4, well, exactly 4, if you're a subject nation. But I like the vassal swarm. I've got a breach, nice. I do like the idea of the vassal swarm, partly because of the way the alliances are set up, particularly in this part of India, but in this part of the world, it's very difficult to expand without stepping on someone else's toes. I mean, I was fortunate to get Bastar when they only had Jharkhand as an ally, and they quickly allied with Orissa and called them in. Now, if you see the size of Orissa, I can't take them on by myself. I was fortunate to be able to call Mewar in, but even with them, they've got what? 9,000? No, they've got way more than that. They've got 13,000 troops. Orissa can click their fingers and, you know, bring in a stack of 10,000 backed up by a stack of 5,000. So, and when you start to consider Jaunpur is allied to wee places like, who are they allied to? They're allied to me, but they're also allied to Berar, which possibly would have been my second option after this if I'd remembered and fabricated on them as well as the star, but I didn't, so I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, what I'm really concerned about is this Multan, which has grown and annexed Sindh, who used to be down here. As I've mentioned before in previous videos and streams, Delhi started a war which they seem to be keen to start around about 1444, lost, and because it was a defensive war, Multan just took a whole bunch of them. They took Bangladesh, who were a vassal of Delhi, they took loads of stuff, they then took Sindh, and they're right on my doorstep with a claim, and with Jaunpur as an ally, and Malwa to a lesser extent, but we can deal with them. So, yeah, although I have expanded beyond the small start of, 2 provinces, quite substantially in fact, given the number of vassals and such that I have, we're still in a very precarious situation. It is not by any stretch of the imagination safe where I am. So we need to be a little bit careful about what we do. We also need to watch out for rebels as well. In fact, let's have a look at see where they are. Malwani, Cyprus, they'll be in Chandri. Yep. If that starts to creep up to where it is going to be an actual problem, I might be able to get down and get back and slap down some troops in that province to slow them down. Buddelkand as well. I will just increase the autonomy. I don't really want to be dealing with putting down rebels when I have so little manpower. It's just not what I can do. Now, our siege is going relatively quickly, although their siege has overtaken me. Why are they going so much? Ah, it's because they've got a slightly faster siege progression rate. I mean, we're fortunate here, you know, 27 days, 30 days. If you start sieging up in Kangra, say, where there's a fort with fort defense 30.5 because of the hills and stuff, you're looking at 37, in some cases 42 day or 47 day sieges. I mean, it's just, it gets painful if you're looking to do a quick war. Now what I hope is Orissa are going to get smacked by these pretender rebels and someone will come and take some of this land off them. I mean, Vijay can take some land off them, Bengal can take some land off them. Bamanis are getting wrecked, funnily enough. Part of the rationale behind doing this practice session is the co-op game I'm doing with Costello. I got wrecked in the first 3-hour session. The first bit was a stupid mistake on my part, a 0-day war deck before all my alliances had been secured and so forth, which was yeah, silly, my fault, and pointless. So we quickly re-rolled that. But the other problem, other problems came in when we actually started playing. I was helping an ally out. I think it was in a similar war that Delhi was in, possibly. Ooh, has a high liberty desire. Jharkhand. Why? Relative power? I don't think so. Oh yes, there's all these subject interactions, isn't there? Prestige. Don't need that. So we must have a regency, I see. Well, if it becomes problematic, I will placate them for prestige. I mean, it's just over. The thing, I can't build up any more forces because wow, I'm taking a whole bunch of attrition here as well. I can't build up any more forces because of my manpower. How expensive are mercs looking at this point? Oof. Not too bad actually, but I'll test this. I'll see how much an additional regiment reduces their liberty desire. Plus I will take the star, which will give me another province, which will hopefully factor into their calculations. Yeah, why don't I just assault this? Oh wait, because I don't want to lose all my men. Of course. I mean, I am making money at the moment, so I can go so far as to recruit some mercenaries if it will bring down their liberty desire. I could improve, actually, I could improve my opinion, their opinion of me as well, which will help. Got no one doing anything at the moment, although I should be fabricating on Bilsa, just in case. But it's important to keep subjects happy, so I will do that as a priority. I would give them a gift, but it seems as though they've been able to build up some forces regardless. Right, now what do they reckon? Better dip tech as well. Interesting. Right, enough. Okay, Bastar, how would you like to become part of me? 5%. We only needed 5% ore score for that, but I couldn't have done it before then. I mean, they have changed how calculations work, but if you don't control a fort in the region, you have minus 1,000 to claiming lands that are nearby. Might as well take their money as well, because they ain't going to be independent. Oh, that's a nice amount of money. That is a nice amount of money. Nothing else that we can do, so we'll do that. I mean, a bit of inflation, bit of aggressive expansion, but no one really cares. So we good. That has taken away their liberty desire, it would seem. Get this core on the go despite the increased cost. It's still very cheap. It just takes ages, unfortunately. It's a different culture as well, irritatingly. Who can we take as rivals? I've already got Malwa as a rival. Who else can we take? Oh, quite a few. We're moving up in the world. I was in a situation, same country, different game as Dundar last night. Had taken Gerd, but not any of this, and no vassals, and I could only set Mewar as my rival, which was not great given that I wanted to get Jaunpur on my side as an ally. But fortunately I have them as an ally here. So, core, what is the next move? Well, that's a good question. That is a very good question. I can now fabricate on provinces around here, but this is all within Orissa's sphere of influence. I mean, these are all Orissan lands. Garjat is a march under Orissa. Chanda is a vassal under Orissa. So it's not actually really helped us a lot, except in giving us some more land to tax and core and defend. But after a few years, when we integrate or annex Gondwana, we'll have a nice joined up border, and we'll actually start to look like we can compete with the likes of Jaunpur. Maybe. I'd also, yeah, as I say, look at Berar, but they are allied to Jaunpur anyway. Malwa, we have a truce with for another 11 years, painfully. We can't even declare Mongols, you know, they're allied to them, but we have truce with them as well. Oh, we've got no diplomats as at the moment, but we'll see who will help us with what. Right, if we were to declare on Multan, Jaunpur would not help us. Mewar would, interestingly, because yeah, they hate them. But we'd be fighting Multan, Malwa, and Jaunpur, and Mewar, so no. Same thing if you declare on one of their vassals. Nagar are allied to Baluchistan, Delhi, and someone else. Gujarat. Now again, Mewar would help us out there, which may be worth considering, actually. Gujarat are a surprising one. I've seen them field armies of about 15,000 just with these lands. So let's have a look. Yeah, force limit of 12. And they're actually over their force limit at the moment. So either they're planning something or they're already in a war. Oh, they're already in a war. And yet they would help? Okay. Who's I just looking at there? Nagar, was it? Yeah. So Baluchistan would also help because it's a defensive war and so forth. What do they have by way of army? Looks like a fair amount of land that they have. So they've got potentially 9,000 troops that they could bring, but 7,000 at the moment. Alright. Gondwana had attached to them. And the other one was... I'm terrible at remembering things. Delhi. Delhi don't worry me as much as they used to when they started on my doorstep. But wow, would you look at that? 14,000 that they can field from 5 provinces. Jeez, I want those provinces. Okay, yeah, compare the development there. Development of 20, fair enough. Development of 5. Ah. Right, okay, that'll be why. Jeez, Delhi, okay, maybe you do scare me a little bit then. But we would have Mawar on our side, who have 13,000. So we'd have, let's see, 4,000, 17,000. Gondwana has 3,000, 20,000, 22,000 versus a whole bunch. Okay. Cameroon, Nepal. Nepal? Nepal, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to only have 4 provinces. Oh my goodness. I really hope they are overstretching themselves something rotten, because I don't really want a big Nepal. I want a kind of medium-sized Nepal that I can eventually take on with my good buddy Garhwal here. Jeez. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, I was looking at potential. Oh, that's what I was looking at. I remember now. Opinion. Would they get? Nah. Multan would not give Baluchistan access unless they came up through. Yeah, okay, they could come up through Timmy, I guess. And Kashmir, and yeah, okay. Well, I was kind of hoping they wouldn't get access there. Patan would get access because they border Mawar. Okay. Well, but the only way we could do it is a blitzkrieg rush on. How do they have 6,000 there? Oh, independent nation, of course. Silly. Yeah, blitzkrieg rush on Nagar, then to Gujarat. So by the time Baluchistan came round, they would have no one to back them up. It's about the only way I can see it working. Now, given we've got some money and we're still making money, more or less, we should have a look at the development here. Now, again, I don't know very much about the new building simulator. All I know is it's blinking expensive to improve any of this. Development of 3. I'm taking some crap lands here. I wonder if I've got a difficult time. How's Nepal looking? Not brilliant. Delhi, I want you. I want your capital. Bengal and Nagar. I don't have a truce with them. Bengal. That stability and war exhaustion hit. I don't think I could take them on either. Well, but with Mawar helping me out, how would Bengal do about getting access? They wouldn't get it through Nepal for the sure. They wouldn't get it through Jaunpur. They wouldn't get it through. No, they wouldn't get it through Jharkhand. But Jharkhand are a vassal of me, so they could just walk right the way through. Maybe I should have kept a buffer zone here. Oh well. Now, why would Garhwal not join in defensive war? I wonder if they would join in if I improved their relations a bit. Jaunpur have a truce to Delhi, so they wouldn't join in at all. Daily, is there any way I can get cast this on you? Nope. Ah. Nah. So having an extra bit of dip prep might bring Garwal in as well with their 6,000. Fight Delhi, take the stab hit. What's the aggressive expansion hit as well? Is it plus 30 or something? Oh yeah. Bindlecan. Oh jeez. Now why would Garwal not? Now I could possibly convince Garwal to join in over here as well. Jaunpur just wouldn't. Accepting would destabilize. Okay. Well, they must love Nagar, or Nagar must love improve their relations with them. I don't know. So we can't get big gorilla Jaunpur in here, but we could get Garwal, which might just push us into the realms of being able to swing it. But in the meantime, we need to core, we need to improve relations, we need them to deal with the rebels. Need them to deal with the rebels. Okay, fine. Use my mercs to further your goals. Nope. Royal marriage. Yeah, why not? Okay, so you don't really fancy that still. Great. Arahan, Adal, don't care. Oh. Orissa have gone for it. Or more like the Pretender Rebels have gone for it, possibly. Yep, Pretender Rebels went for it. Karjat are coming to help their overlords. Think they'll be too late though. No, maybe not. Oh, they will be too late. Oh dear. I mean, I say oh dear, but I really don't want a strong Orissa at all, so that is perfect. Bamanis, blah blah blah. Bamanis have been reduced to an not an OPM, but a 2-province minor. Wow. In the co-op game with Costello, they encompass pretty much all this. So seeing them weak is surprising. Hey, you gonna do something about that? It would appear not. Yeah, I would hate to have a penalty to my power projection score. Oh, and score. Well, it worries me not. You're a big coward, you know that? Mewar and Baglana. Oh, that's nice of them to protect Baglana, I guess. Gujarat are no longer at war. They got 10,000 troops there. Well, that makes the calculations slightly different. improving with you guys. Let's improve with you guys as well. Defensive. Disgusting. The only I kind of don't want those pretender rebels to do too well, because if they enforce their demands, they will get that stack. So, right, how's the Liberty Desire looking? Ah, manageable. Manageable. Let's see, national unrest. If I paid down that war exhaustion, it would reduce the speed of those separatists. Dai Viet, Lanjiang, good for them. Do I have a claim on you actually, Nagar, before I do, of course I do. I think it's going to be diplomatic reputation that'll do it for me here, rather than anything else. You guys are never going to get anywhere if you just chase those rebels around. You need to take the problem head on. And not split your stacks like this, because if those rebels have any sense, they'll just turn around and march back on that stack. Where's Wiz when you need him? Yeah, I'd like to grow some men here. I mean, we're going to need how many to reinforce my armies? Wow. 103 each month, so we're looking at what, 48 months? It's only 4 years before we start gaining manpower. Jeez. Forget sometimes how easy it is to deplete manpower as a small nation. And just never get it back. Timmy, those rebels are doing you no favours. See, the thing is, like, even taking Nagar, it's only going to give me another piddling bit of small development. Okay, it might increase my force limit a little, but I mean, really, I'm having a difficult enough time. I mean, that's in theory most of my force limit here. You know, 9 and the 10th regiment out of 11. Having a difficult enough time maintaining this, so it's not that useful. It's useful. Multan is a claim on it as well. Great. Well, I should probably take it then, just because it's of my culture and religion. It would stop Multanti. It would give them another reason to declare war on me. But I have a feeling if they declared on me, Jaunpur would not come to their aid and they would come to my aid. So I am so glad I have that alliance with Jaunpur. So very, very glad. I think once this is cored in flipping 2 years, I'll have a think about doing the dance with Nagar. Although Gujarat, with their many troops, you're not even close to not accepting. Mind you, Delhi. Having Delhi in the war will be nice. I mean, it's what, double the cost to take lands, but if I could take just, no, I can't take anything like a core, unfortunately. Could I make them give up? I could make them create Punjab, I guess. Weaken them a bit more. Yeah. Although Punjab would probably be gobbled up by Multan. Could end up working against me. Jeez. When you've got no blinking development, it's difficult to make any advances. Gotta dance around Shanpur, dance around Multan, dance around Delhi, dance around previously Malwa, although they're not a force to be reckoned with anymore. Do they still have Bundelkhand as a vassal? Again, not really hungry to take that because Jaunpur has it as a core. Don't want any additional friction. Oh, I suppose I could give them the core back to improve relations even further. Right, our manpower reserves needs to recover. No kidding. Now, there's an interesting one. Improve relations with Orissa. Looks like they've beaten the rebels. That is possible. That is possible. Give us a little bit of extra dip rep. Bilsa. Yeah, we can't though because we have a truce, you daft game. But I think what we'll do is improve relation with do we have any improved relations already? Enemy of enemy. Conquered rival province. Okay. Okay then. It's quite nice. Yeah, we'll be doing that. Has that improved relation affected them at all? Their calculation? Not really. Well, it might. Very glad you don't have to do the diplomat juggling trick to get, you know, the kind of most efficient improving of relations, because that was just a painful amount of micro. Keep an eye on the end of the month, recall, send. Illusion, I do play other strategy games from Paradox. I do. I play Crusader Kings. I currently have a co-op game with going with Castello there. We started out as vassals under Kingdom of Mercia, and we now have the Empire of Wales and the Empire of Britannia, so I'll let you figure out how well we've done there. I have Hearts of Iron and Vicky, but have not started them yet. Victoria, I've looked at after action reports of and the interface of, and it scares me a little bit with its complexity. Hearts of Iron seems like good fun, but again, you know, managing supply lines could be interesting. So we do intend, Castello has that as well, so we do intend to have further co-op games of that. I much prefer the co-op approach than the solo approach. I mean, this is fine as a learning experience. I was intending to do a 100 Years' War as England, you know, baiting France around and so forth, but as you probably know, there is no 100 Years' War anymore. What about yourself? Do you play any strategies yourself? I presume you play at least Europa, otherwise why would you be tuning into this? Not for all this exciting gameplay, that's for sure. Also, I can't tell if you're still in the chat. Twitch has disabled join and part messages for the duration of E3, and they may be keeping that permanently, so I've heard. So I can't tell who's in chat or not. So if you're there, great. If you're not, well, then I'm talking to myself still. Hamlocks are doing well. Okay, that just became impossible. Why are they hostile? Have a claim. That would be why. Fabricated on Bastar, presumably. Yep, that'll be why. Oh well. Couldn't last. If you were to ask me which do I prefer of Crusader Kings and Europa, that would be a tough question. Since we're talking about other Paradox strategy games, they are similar but different, as they say. Oh, hello. Afghanistan declared independence. Oh wow. Now that could be good or that could be bad for me. I was kind of hoping that something along those lines would happen and prevent. Did they get Quetta as well? No, that's a capital, so they must have already had that. I'll come back to that question in a second that I asked myself. Okay, so Khorasan wouldn't give them access, fine. Afghanistan probably would, but we'll see, that might change. If they lock Baluchistan in, so much the better. Okay, so rebels broke Timmy, Khorasan declared independence, blah 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 blah. Persia as well. Timmy are, yeah, still big, still to be reckoned with, but they shouldn't be threatening India anytime soon, I wouldn't have thought. So yeah, Crusader Kings is very good fun. I like how you can play a game beyond your borders. Even if you're tiny, you can play dynastic games without having to send big retinues around the world. Europa I played first, and I love the detail. I love that you have an entire world map rather than just to India. It's interesting. It seems simpler now that I've played Crusader Kings, if you can believe that. One of the things I tell people about Europe is, oh, it's brilliant, it's complex, you know, it makes the Total War games look, you know, like kiddies games. But actually, it's not as complicated as it first seems. So, yeah, I think if I had to, there you go. Well done, Mawar. Well done. Catch them if you can. No, you can't. Okay, not sure why they're going to Gujarat, but never mind. Hey, going over to Kathiawar? Why? Why are you going that way? Of course, Europa does things that seem inexplicable at times. But never mind. No royal marriage with them anymore. Oh, they're pretty close to helping us though. It's like trust is ticking up due to our improved relations. Possibly. Possibly. Point being, if we get that advisor, we will. There's the royal marriage, presumably. Yep. We should be able to bring them into that war. Now, Afghanistan, have you changed your relation to Baluchistan at all? No, I'd still get access. Damn. Although, weirdly, Baluchistan don't like Afghanistan. Afghanistan, if you just went hostile to them, that would make me so very happy. I mean, we still may end up doing the Blitzkrieg thing because we're nearly at a point where we've cored this. Bastar might have to end up dealing with our own rebel situation soon enough. We can invest in dip tech, which will reduce the liberty desire of Jharkhand and Gondwana, because they are still fairly close to the 50%, magic 50%. Now I could make them give me extra money, but really it'd be what, 0.6 and 0.3? It's not worth it. I'd rather have their men throwing themselves at the enemy pikes, or spears, or swords, or what have you. And I really want Mawar to sort out their rebel problem here, so that they are good and ready to go against Nagar. See, Mawat, if they weren't a vassal of Multan, I'd be really happy. Take them, give me access to Delhi. Could start taking that land off them. I mean, Delhi really needs to be, you know, the target of expansion for me. Or not needs to be, but it would be very, very helpful. Garwal is at war and didn't call me in. Thank goodness, because, yeah, Nepal. Who declared that? Attacker. Was Nepal right on your border? Okay. Is Turut at least helping you with that? Ah, they are. Okay. Actually, I do worry about Nepal, but how big are they after all? Not to be trifled with. Traditions give them extra force limit. Those rebel factions are making me slightly concerned. Well, this has been another exciting stream, I have to say. We've been watching not even our manpower recover, but our forces slowly trickle back up. We've been watching a core become created, and that's about it, really. Well, we've seen countries fall out of Timmy, because that's, you know, that never happens. Yeah. The only other thing we could do other than consider fighting Nagar is to wait for our truce to be up with Malwa. Do it that way. But other than that, it's we're in a bit of a dead end situation. The other thing to do would have been to attack someone like Kangra, because they often fabricate around them, and use that, and then start, you know, digging into Delhi that way. So we could do it with Kashmir, Yarkand. How many forces do they have? Okay, one or two. Would anyone help me out against Kashmir? No, not really. The other problem is, how would I get there? Because there isn't a chance that Multan would give me access. I could go through Jaipur and Garhwal, and maybe Kangra. Yeah, Ladakh might not actually give Yarkand access, although if they came around the other way. And Afghan might not. Rivalry. They would not get access. Well, Kashmir. How much would that be? That'd be a lot of aggressive expansion. Kashmir would probably coalition me. War exhaustion. Might have to do it that way and vassalize them. I mean, this is going to start eating into my diplo power, but or start eating into it even more, I should say. But that might be a safer way to expand. Kashmir, what do you have in terms of claims? You've got no claims, unfortunately. So all I would be doing is getting myself another small vassal, because their force limit would be cut right down as soon as they became vassalized. Yeah, it'd be 3, because it's to the. If you don't have a full integer's worth of force limit, then it gets rounded down. So even though it's closer to 4 than 3, it would be 3. Yeah, Kangra would have been the one to have done. Then declaring Kashmir, feed them to Kangra. But it looks like Garwal's gotten there before me. That's what I get for sitting around, I guess. Well, we are slowly regaining people. I wonder if they will become an accepted culture now that we've cored Bastar due to our relatively low base tax. Mind you, speaking of relatively low base tax, possibly gonna have to again think of increasing the autonomy here. Jaipur, who do you hate? Who could I declare on that you hate? Delhi. And yet you wouldn't. Oh, you've got a truce with them, right? I see. Bengal. And you've got a truce with them and all. Alright, well, only for a couple more years. Maybe an option as well. Unfortunately, we're getting to the point where I'm going to need to call an end to this stream quite soon, without anything exciting really having happened. I mean, we're still not at our at our goal of having secured our borders, because if Jaipur were distracted by a war with, let's say, they hate Nepal. They hate Nepal, I think. They hate Delhi or anyone around them, and Multan took a sideways look at us and said, "Hey, Dandar, you're going to fight us." We might be able to stand up to them, or we might not. We're not really in a position. Again, same thing with Harissa. We're not really in a position to say, "Yep, we can totally maintain our independence and our borders." So we have further to go. We have further to go. But I think embargo. Okay. Well, they must not have a truce anymore, because you can't embargo somebody you have a truce with. Jaipur would help. Aha! Well, now there is something. There is something with Jaipur on my side. But what can we do with Delhi? That's the problem. If I had a blinking land bridge, I could core them, but I can't. I just can't. You know what? It's a vassal of Multan, and Jaipur will never declare war on Multan. Sorry, yeah, Multan, yes. Oh dear. I need to get one of these guys involved in a war. Well, if I declared on Delhi, and Then on Multan, they probably would get the modifier for called into multiple wars. If I could break that alliance apart, I could start to work my way into Multan. I should really have cancelled that mission as well before now. Yeah. Well, we have options for next time. None that are particularly good in the form of no Cassis declarations. I mean, we can't really... Well, actually, we could core land from Bengal, I think, because we have a connection through our vassals. So we could try and get down to the sea. That's quite high development right there as well. Yeah, we could possibly take some land off Bengal. Kocha presumably still allied to Assam. Jeez. One or two people. Well, it would give us some options. Well, we have some options potentially. I mean, declaring on Delhi to get land off Bengal seems kind of the opposite way of going about it than we should. Aha. But if we declared on Bengal, we could do it the other way around. Jaipur wouldn't help at the moment because they've got truce, but okay. Alright, well we have some options for next time. Again, it's not a particularly exciting session. It's better than the first one, which was staring at Jaipur's relations modifier for an hour or so. But again, if you have been watching, thank you. Particularly to those who said hi and asked questions. Sorry I missed you. It's very difficult to keep an eye on who's in the chat, as I said, because of the disabling of notifications. You can't see who's there or not. I mean, for example, I've got two different clients open looking at the chat. One of them says you're both still there, the people who've talked, and one of them says no one's there. So, who'd you believe? Well, I want to believe, but I won't. So, next time we're going to be probably looking at an OCB war with someone. Unless these guys have claims that I could use. Not really, it would seem. Jharkhand, why you no fabricate? Because you're a diplomat. Well, that'll be why. Well, some form of war next time, I guess. We'll just have to hope. We will just have to hope. I'm not going to save it again because I've just saved it. If you have been watching, whether the stream or later on YouTube, well done you for getting through it. If not, well, I'll catch you next time. Cheers, everyone.